Hello, hello, Aryan. It's coming. It is coming.
It's right over here. Anytime you want. You're just gonna be sitting this way. Otherwise, इसके side पे करते or you can put this in your pocket if you have.
No, it's okay. If this is working, I don't need this.
Just in case. You stand right here. That's where you are.
आप इंट्रोड्यूस करेंगे?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So Dr. Ayesha Qazi is going to be presenting, I would say it's a warfare, it's a tactical thing. So like, WEQAAYA has to do basically with the compassionate support, pastoral support, basically palliative support. She's a physician, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy that.
Assalamu alaikum. You can hear me? Abo.
आप इसको यहाँ लगा सकते हैं.
Hello. Slip हो रहा है. इधर? पिन नहीं है ना? वो कोई हेल्प कर देगा एक सिस्टर. Can you help me? Okay, एक मिनट. Can you help? इसको लग नहीं रहा है. So it should be closer to my mouth.
ऐसे करिए, ये इस साइड पे लगाइए.
अच्छा.
और ये सामने आए.
Oh, okay. If I do like this, yeah, it might.
इसके साथ लगाइए.
Sorry. Is that better?
Hello.
A
Hello.
push it in?
Yes.
Let's try this.
Hello.
Let's try this.
Assalamu alaikum.
Sorry.
चल. That's fine.
Okay.
Assalamu alaikum. I am Dr. Ayesha Qazi, and I think the brother already introduced me, and so I would like to start. Challenges of parental burnout, right? Can anyone tell me what they understand by a burnout? Anyone? Yes? Give up, okay. What else? Yes? Yes, and it's a feeling, overwhelming feeling, but related to special thing. You see, you can be burnout with your work, with your life, with your marriage, but this is especially related to parents, being a parent in current day situation and with North America, because this is especially aligned for North America. So this is a little bit about me, and I think brother already introduced about me. So how do you find this statement? It is the easiest thing to give opinion about, especially your elders. We had this many children. We had no problem. You must be hearing this all the time. And so does this help? Does this statement help? No, it does not help. And even the techniques, like for me, it will be different. And the person and the child being born here with this environment will be different. It's not 100% accurate. You will have to make a fusion of things, right? And I already asked this question, what is a parental burnout to you? But psychologically, they have divided into 3 main categories. And so the first one would be exhaustion, which is, you said, burnout. And you use the word overwhelming, feeling of tiredness. The second would be emotional distancing, that you feel so tired, so burnout, that you don't want to connect with anyone. And that's when the scrolling comes in. Nowadays, the issue with this, when you don't want to handle anything, you are so tired, you sit and you scroll TikTok or all of the social media, which is like a cycle which goes around like this. It makes you further burn out, and then again, cycle. And there's no way of going out of it. Then another thing that comes in, you feel that you're a failure. You're not managing things. The children are replying back, or they are not being handled, and you feel that you are not the right parent. There are things that you're doing it wrong. Then it becomes, this is all like a stage-wise, and then you feel that there is no pleasure. I've heard a lot of time with young parents, especially, they tick mark. So many birthdays, so like if they have a birthday for the child, they invite 10 people. So in the year, you have to attend 10 birthdays, getting the gift. So it's just like ticking mark. It's not fun that you want to do. It's mostly you're fulfilling your children's needs, even your friends, your siblings, everyone needs, except for you, what you want to do. So that's another thing. And then there is no loss of pleasure. And again, it's a cycle. And the problem is you can't get out of the cycle. How to get out of that cycle? So it's the stuck feeling going on like that. Fatigue, exhaustion, overwhelming feeling of failure. Then you don't feel like, and you don't feel connected. And the most important here is the case with the children. You just feel you don't want to deal with any of their crying. You know, the children will cry or their tantrums. You don't want to feel. You just want to separate out. That's when the social media comes in, which was not there at our time. We didn't have the social media, so I would call that a blessing. And then loss of pleasure. So this is like a cycle which keeps on going. And this all will result to the last one, the conflict, the parent-partner conflict. And that's why you see so many of the people going into divorce or difficulties, marriage difficulties, because they are going to blame the other person. If you are in this cycle, you didn't do this, or you are responsible for this, and then you feel that frustration, because who else? You can't blame anyone else, it has to be the partner. So this is like sort of in a diagram form. So the 3 main important parts are exhaustion, loss of pleasure, emotional detachment. How do you know that you are going towards a burnout? This is the thing. Like you said, burnout, you feel just not being able to do anything. Then loss of pleasure and emotional detachment. So be aware of these things. When they start happening, we have to pause. That is the main thing. Pause and think of what you can do. The shame and guilt also comes with it. When you feel you are being unnaturally angry with your children, you will do. If you're tired, shut up, sit down, don't do this, I don't want to do this. Like that. How do you do that? This is the way. Or you will fight with your partner. Who gets involved in the whole thing? The children. So this will give, again, shame and guilt. Maybe there's something wrong that I'm doing, right? Now, the risk factors associated with parental burnout are very important. So there are the external factors, which sometimes we cannot do much, like the financial, job, employment, number of children, we cannot so much change. But the thing that is important is internal factors. Here the therapy helps. Here the psychologists help, because when you are so overwhelmed, you can't think about anything. So what will happen with the inside? You don't know. So that's where the therapy comes in, the counselor comes in, and they help you to sort out, because everyone is different. I can't say, like, even me, I have so many children, you should do this. No. Everyone, each one of you are different, and you have a different way of handling things. So this is the way that how to break up. That's the field of psychology and psychotherapy. So the most important thing here is sometimes we have a conflict with our children. You know, the child, if you have 2, 3 children, you will not know, like, one child is constantly like pulling with you. You say something, they will do something. One child, not all of them. If whoever has more than one, they will know. Or sometimes even with one, whatever it's just like a tussle, like a sibling rivalry. You might start thinking, this is like not my child, like a sibling. So, or a friend who is jealous of you. So you're constantly running. So this is like called a personality conflict between you and your child. And it is there because, you know, we are different personalities and there will be a conflict. So what is the next step? First, discover what is the problem, and then you work it out. That's why counseling helps. What is the problem? The second is, it's called as perfectionist attitude. Some of us are very perfectionist. We want everything perfect. Whether it's the house cleaning, whether it's any gift wrapping, you might have seen, this is the way it is done. It's in a YouTube, and they see you have to follow exactly how it is. So this is like a perfectionist. Perfect pins, perfect hijabs. There are so many now videos with how to have that sort. So you have to have that. It's a perfect child. How to dress up. So you have that thing in the image, and perfectionism. In real life, only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is perfect. We are not perfect. So maybe for ourselves, but around us, we have to leave, let it go. Well, another thing. Another thing, the third most important would be, we all have a past. We all grew up, right? We all have come from different places, even the ones who have grown here. You have a certain environment that you grow up. So especially if you grew up in an environment where there was less than what you have now here. It was less. So you have that dream that my child will have everything that I did not have. Like I said, birthday parties, or the gifts, or that brand name thing. I didn't have it while growing up. So I'm going to give it to my son, because that's what you felt as growing up. So there's different names for all of these things. So you have to figure it out whether you're going to put your something that was it on the child. Maybe the child does not, especially when the children are going into teenagers. I always wanted to be a doctor. So I couldn't, because of whatever reason, financial or situational. So I'm going to get my child to do that. And you're pushing and pushing. The child is completely different. So the conflict starts. And then we expect them to, obey us. And then we get disappointed, and it's like, again, a depression and anxiety. So many things start happening. So we have to learn about all of these things. Then, of course, difficulty in boundaries. I've seen mothers going overboard in their children, dealing with their children. Like, whatever they say, they will do it. They will be awake the whole night. Or, just doing something, dress up, or anything like that, right? So this is another thing, boundaries. And then, a lot of times, we have a lot of things happening inside. We cannot give it a name. What is happening? Is it anger? Is it anxiety? Is it worry? So another thing is we need to learn, what is it that is happening inside us? There is a whole science now, and they are telling us how you can identify what's happening with you. So this is another diagram, as you can see. And here, little to no support from the parent, co-parent. Sometimes they are busy in their career and then very little support. Or here the culture comes in. That here men are, in our culture, men don't do. This is a woman's job. And then, of course, the conflict is very real. And then you have the perfectionist attitude here again. So, stages of parental burnout is mild burnout, moderate, and severe. Mild is usually when something happens for a short time, like somebody gets sick in a family, in your children or in your immediate family. So naturally, you have to give time to them. Now, that's a mild burnout. You feel irritable. The first sign is everything that you used to do before, happily, you become irritable. And then moderate burnout and severe burnout. It's the same thing. Moderate would be like financial more. You have lost a job, and now you are getting difficulties. So it's a long-term thing. So it will be more overwhelming. Or an extra need, special need child. And the severe burnout is, we already did the 3 stages, the 3 phases: exhaustion and emotional disbalance, and then loss of pleasure. In Wiqaya, it is a psycho-spiritual care. Wiqaya means protection, inner protection, that you have it inside you. And that's the art of self-defense. And in this, it's a 2-pronged approach. In Wiqaya, you have 2-pronged. One is the modern secular. As you know, the modern secular psychology or therapy does not include any religion. It's usually without religion. There is no concept of God, or there is no concept of no Christianity or Judaism or Islam. So modern therapy, counseling, psychology deals without any spiritual or religious element. So we will present that also, okay? And we work through that because, like, a lot of time people don't want to listen to any religious, whatever the bad opinion they have. Then the fusion. Fusion is what I like to do most of the time, and which is like we use whatever the science, psychology has said, the modern, and take out the things that are not aligning with our values, Islamic values, and then add on whatever is in the Quran and the Sunnah. Okay? So this is fusion, Islamic and secular. So now we will do the modern secular approach first to parental burnout. The first, anytime when you have it, like what is the things people say? Consult a therapist. Nowadays, that's the first thing people will say. Go and see a therapist. If you are feeling not able to handle the daily activities, the first thing is consult a therapist. Second is call a friend or a support group. That's what you see all the time in social media. People are like, putting in posts. Improve self-care, self-compassion, right? Then comes the establish structure and boundaries. You have heard a lot about boundaries, I'm sure. Nowadays, people are always talking about boundaries. This is my boundary. This is me. This is my space. So do not come in my space. You will be hearing this. Not younger children, but teenage children. Then break. Take a micro break. Wherever you feel you can hang out with your friends. Then find meaning. Decrease media time. Then find meaning. That's very important nowadays. Everything, decrease your media time, and then find meaning. Let go of unrealistic expectations. So out of these steps, we are going to discuss in the 3 main things. What is therapy? How many of you know what therapy means? Then the second is unrealistic expectations. Find meaning. Because all of them nowadays are talking about spirituality and finding meaning or showing gratitude. These are the words, take positive approach. A lot of therapies are suggesting this. And then unrealistic expectations, and consult a therapist. So I'm going to do these three in a small way so that you can understand. Can anyone tell me what they understand by therapy? Can anyone? When they say they have a counseling, yes? Brainwash, that's good. Seeking professional help, and like in what? Talk about your problem, yeah? Okay. And anyone? So like everyone nowadays will say, go and seek therapy. But what is therapy and what do you understand by therapy? That's a very important question, right? So that's why I'm going to give a brief idea of what therapy does and how it works. Nowadays, it started like almost 100 years ago with Sigmund Freud and William James. And, you have seen a picture of a couch and a person writing and a person lying down, and there's this person sitting on the chair and writing down. I think all of you have seen this picture. And whenever you think of therapist, that's the picture it comes in, a couch and a chair, right? So nowadays it has changed. That thing is old, no longer used by the psychodynamic theories. The modern theory, which is very popular nowadays, and maybe you might have heard of the name, is cognitive behavioral therapy, which is CBT. I don't know if anyone has heard about CBT. So the most of the therapists nowadays use CBT. And then the second is ACT. ACT is that is called as acceptance commitment therapy. So we'll just do a little bit about how it works. And when you go to a therapist, when you start talking, so how they will figure it out and let you figure out what is the problem or where is the issue lies. This is the triangle. This is a very famous triangle. All of you should know this, learn this by the end of this session. This triangle is very important. The red one, the first one, is thoughts. They have divided, when you go and talk to the therapist or in your daily life, just now that a girl is crawling or I am talking, what does it signify? Like how? So they have worked out steps. First, you think of something, then you have an emotion or a feeling. Like if you see, I did that if you see a dog walking by, so what will you do? Or you're walking and a dog comes in front, so how will you react and what will you do? Huh? Say that again. Stay away from the dog and? Anyone? We will move away, all of us. Isn't that it? Forget the pet. Okay, but just suppose you have just come out from the masjid or you're going to the masjid. So what do you do then when you see a dog? Huh? So you will move away. So why? Why are you moving away? Exactly. That's the thing. That's what I'm trying to say. Because in our mind, it happens in a second. In our mind, what comes is a thought. This dog will cause my wudu to break. Or this dog is napak. So you will sort of make a face or your body will react and you will move back. Isn't that it? All of us Muslims do that. But non-Muslims will not do this. This is our experience. So this is the triangle I'm trying to say. Thought comes in. It comes in a second. You have an emotion and then you move. So this exactly is the thought. If you see a fire, just suddenly a ball coming, a fireball just comes in. What do? You will run. Because the thought is this fire will burn you, will hurt you. So at once you have a fear in you, and then you will run. So this is thought. You see, that is an event. The event is the fire or the dog. You think that's napak or that's going to hurt you, and then you have that fear, and then you run. So this exactly is this triangle as you see. And in CBT therapy, usually a lot of time, like you said, just now you didn't think that it is the thought that's making you act. So in CBT, the therapist will try to figure out with you in your stories how the thought is, where the thought is going. Because that's why it's different for everyone. Everyone, just now, a Muslim and a non-Muslim, there will be just this big difference, right? So that's one of the ways. As you can see here, thought, feeling, and behavior. An act is also the same. It is concerned with thought, but this comes from a Buddhist perspective. And there is the other thing is that is coming with is acceptance. Acceptance of whatever is happening around us, or to me. We accept. And then we have values to accept, and then we go forward with that life. So but both of these therapies work with thoughts. Being present, you might have heard nowadays a lot about mindfulness, meditation, being in the moment, taking long breaths, say that. So this is this part, which is coming here, being present, okay? And then the values come in. Like a lot of time they're saying show gratitude. But the thing is, they will never say show gratitude to God. It's show gratitude of whatever you have. I mean, notice that whenever you see this, they will never say show gratitude to God. It's just gratitude. Be happy what you have. Be positive all that you have. Isn't that it? So that's how it is. I'm just going to explain and go quickly that it is two people. They both call a friend who doesn't answer the phone. The first one, he must be busy, or so they're just not in the mood to talk right now. So the emotion is neutral, no change, and then he calls back again. So there is a behavior, no change and behavior. Now what happens with the second one? They don't want to talk to me. I call that person, they don't want to talk to me. So see, two friends, different thought. Now what happens? He's sad, he's hurt, and then he doesn't call back. And then you see, he loses that friend. Can you see the difference in the thought? So in therapy, we start working with this thought pattern. And most of the time, people who go into depression have that thought, the other thought, that, oh, I'm not good enough. So again, the triangle comes in. So this is the modern secular approach to parental burnout. The idea is that thought is essential to change behavior. Both therapies focus on the thought pattern. Now we come to the Islamic, the main thing, the psycho-spiritual approach, which is Islam and secular. As you can see, these are the things: therapy, self-care and self-compassion, structure and routine, decrease media time, unrealistic expectation, and finding meaning. Is anything against Islam in this? No. So we can just follow it, right? This is the issue. We don't find anything in here which is going against our values, which is going against our religion. And then we say, okay, fine. And so we go on this path without further going. And now we will do with it the therapy a little bit. And now we will just tell you what you mean by expectations. 3 things therapy we will do is expectations and meaning and time. So what is, yes? Expectations, what do you understand by expectations? Could be? Expectation, general word, unrealistic expectations. So first we have to know what is expectation. What do you understand by expectation? Hope, okay. I expect my son or a daughter to be A grade. Huh? knows. It's called expectation. Desire can come in, but it's expectation. I want my son to get an A grade throughout, or a daughter throughout. That's expectation. Goal is good. Result is also. So it's something like achievement. No, like this is a water bottle, right? All of you know. So what do you expect is in this water bottle? Right. So we all expect water in this bottle, right? Isn't that it? So I use the word expect. This is there, and you expect water in this bottle. But suppose there was no water in this, but chai. So you will be, maybe you like chai, so you will be happy with the chai. But those who don't like chai, they like coffee, they will not be happy with this. Isn't that it? So expectations are these things that we build upon, that we have hope. Like, what is the expectation of life? Of life. Success in what? Right. And success, what else? Success in Akhirah as a Muslim. What else? Don't you want a big house? Yes. Don't you want to be a CEO? Right? So these are expectations of ours. And what is the unrealistic expectation? We are never going to die? Good. Yes, that's also nowadays, a lot of time we don't want to be hurt. Life would be perfect. We will have everything, all our dreams, desires. I can climb the Mount Everest. So do you think that is a real expectation or unreal? Unless you are a climber. For us, it is unrealistic, but I want to do that. So difference between expectation and unreal expectation. You can see that? So again, it's the feeling about future. That is very important. We have to understand feeling about future. That is what is expectation. Feeling about future. Like I said, I want my son or daughter to have A grade throughout. And if nothing happens, or if she doesn't, if she gets a B or he gets a B, so what will happen to me? I will be either stressed, anxious, or worried trying to get that A. So there's this difference between real expectation and unreal. Okay. So what is the function of expectation? It makes us prepare for things. So it is a good thing. Expectation is usually a good thing. It makes us prepare for things to do. And action plan, like we do the fire drill. What does fire drill do to us? It teaches us, yeah. So they do through a whole steps of procedure. So you are better equipped. The same way we are told to expect about life, and so we have to do certain things, right? How do expectations develop? Like how we have it. All of us have, one is knowledge, facts in life, then comes the experience. We all have grown through experiences, and then illusions. Nowadays, the age is of illusion. You can all see like how people are putting in media. They might be fighting, pairs, but when they put in the media, it's a beautiful, put together family. Or something like perfectly baked Dorito, anything, right? So this is the thing, desires. And this is something we did in a class here, Oceans, drop. This is inside us. This is like a picture. We can't see it in us, but as a Muslims, everything is inside us. This is our identity. This is how we grow up. So putting a picture gives a better idea of myself. As you can see, as a Muslim, there is the spiritual landscape. There's the kalama, there's the Quran, and all of those things. So they differ. Like if I see this water through lens, so I will be seeing the world through this, just like with the dog experience. We are seeing the dog through this vision that our wudu will break. So what is that? These things are coming up, right? Similarly, so many other things. And we discussed like the parent, how we spent as childhood. If we suffered or if we didn't had the things that are nowadays children having. So we want our children to go through that, not go through that, okay? So this is called, in modern language, worldview. And the other thing is called as early maladaptive schemas. It is outside the scope of this lecture to go into it. So we already did this. What are your expectations of life, children, and parenting? Anyone would like to say? Yes? Come on. You're all parents, let's say. Yeah, what else? Has anyone ever understood this hadith? We all know innamal amalu bin niyat. So what is niyat? Intention. And intention is what? A thought. Again, you see the triangle? So that's why we have to know. There is an ayah in the Quran which is very scary and which says, we have given you eyes and hearing and fu'ad. Fu'ad is her heart, beating heart. So that's like saying near. How, all the emotions are coming in that heart. So we will be questioned. So the main thing is the thoughts will be questioned. The intentional thoughts. Like why did you do something? So the angels, where will the angels write where the behavior is? Remember, there is another hadith, it says, as soon as you think a good deed, angel writes. Bad deed, they don't write. But when you act on it, then but if you act, whatever way, so the whole thing is the thoughts that's coming in. So how is life and children viewed in the Quran? What is the first expectation of a Muslim? Yes, husn zan billah, right? That is the first, whatever is happening or whatever is, all with the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I am as my slave expects me to be. And so then again we said, what are expectations in this dunya and the world? Is it dreams? Is it hopes? Is it desires? To a limited extent. We have this world and we have another world. So we have to make it So a lot of time nowadays, it's just like one vacation after the other. It's just like if you don't do this vacation, that's the end. And all our focus is just shifted onto that. And then the stress and everything comes in. And then you feel burnout, whether it's parental or work or anything. Because we want too much in this world. Expectations of this world in life in the Quran, we will test you. That's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying, we will test you for sure. So if you might get a car, you might not. That's by the grace of Allah. But we have forgotten sort of that. Everybody knows. And the thing is, we all know when someone dies, when somebody is sick, we all know. Or there is an earthquake, we all know that is a test. But a lot of time, we forget wealth is a test. Everything happening easily, children, they are a test. Because of the false expectations. So types of tests, we all know, sickness, death, loss of job, financial, earthquakes, things like that. But there is one test which a lot of us ignore or don't think, and which is the test of relationships. Relationship is also a test. How? As you can see here, we have made some of you as trial for others. Like if somebody is a very toxic person, what is nowadays people saying? If it's a toxic person, what do? Stay away. But that toxic person is your sibling. Or somebody, like sibling, yeah, siblings are also, or your aunt. So do you follow the modern way of saying away, or what do? A big dilemma, right? Yeah, but sometimes it becomes, why does it have to be her? Anyway, so tests in relationships, usually we are not considering. And especially when it's in toxic, you can't take it, just move away. But Islam is saying something else, especially relationships, family relationships. So then we have to find a way of which is healthy way of how to protect ourselves and how to, keep the relation. Because we all know very well that you are supposed to keep with the rahimi rishte, which means your siblings, your parents, your parents, children. And in the relationship, what can you control? Who can you control? You. You can control. You cannot control another person. So we have to learn, and we can learn. That is the good news. This is about the children. We all know that children are a test. As you can see here, wealth and children are tests. And وَعَلَمُوا أَنَّمَا أَمْوَالُكُمْ وَأَوْلَادُكُمْ فِتْنَةٌ وَأَنَّ اللَّهَ عِنْدَهُ أَجْرٌ عَظِيمٌ إِنَّمَا أَمْوَالُكُمْ وَأَوْلَادُكُمْ فِتْنَةٌ. A lot of places that's what is. They are a test, children. So now, remember I said the thought pattern of children are a test. So how do you deal with that? This is a good example. If you see there's a mother and your child is not testing you. Allah is strengthening it. So how you can change the thought? If you just think that, look at the child, it is a creation, the child is a creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And it's causing you big hardship. There is a way, this child is always like that. And you sort of, that cycle going, or you can say that this is a way of Allah testing me, and how I can do. The thing is, there's another ayah, now I'm going to go into that. The beauty of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is He will give you the test that you can do. The only thing is, we have to realize. So a lot of the steps we did earlier, where is it the personality conflict? Is it your desire that's coming in? Is your perfectionist attitude coming in? Right? So we have to figure that out and then handle it, work it through that. The test usually is not who will be grateful and who will be ungrateful. See, my experience one was in palliative medicine. There was a 16-year-old son of a woman, and he was just given that he had only 6 months to live. And the mother, I thought she would be like broken, crying, but then she just turned and said, Alhamdulillah. And I was shocked. That is the first time I realized that she knew what it means. Good or bad, we have to be grateful to Allah. This is from Allah. And this was, I have never forgotten that part because I could relate. I had a 16-year-old at that time. So I was just thinking she would be broken and things like, but this is the word she said, Alhamdulillah. And it also how you will raise your children. Will you be raising them with the masjid or away from the masjid? And will they treat them with kindness, love, and respect? Will they raise them in Islam with all the knowledge and blessings? Will they prepare them for the hereafter and for paradise? And will they send them to hellfire along with themselves? This is the true nature of test. And I'm glad people are coming to masjid, bringing their children to masjid. So that is a very good thing. So this is the thing I said about false expectations, where desires, illusions become more. And nowadays the illusions are because of social media, the media. everything is like bigger and better. And decrease facts and decrease knowledge. Also, the thing is, we want to do so much with the children. The super mom, the super dad, you have heard about all of these things. So this is like taking them into an unrealistic level. Know your child, know their capabilities. Don't enforce your values on them. Okay? And have you seen some of these? I got from the social media. Some of these things. Fall in love with your life. That's the first thing. Fall in love with your life. Saying sorry. Don't do that. These are toxic to yourself. Saying sorry. I mean, since when is it toxic to say sorry? And then get a fresh haircut. Okay, fine. That's okay, good. Like all of those things are doable, but some of them things are like no purpose. You have to have a purpose in life. And we should expect hardship. Prepare for it. This is the thing. We should prepare for hardship. We should expect hardship. This is the thing of expectations. Because Allah in the Quran is telling us, I will test you. So we should be, just like the fire drill. What happens with the fire? Fire, they tell you to do that. They are there with it. They expect you, then they practice. So the same way we should be prepared for it. It's going to come, and they say that like that lady, alhamdulillah. And then realize that you can handle it. Because it is specially for you. It is targeted especially for you. It just didn't come because you were there. It was targeted specially for you, that person. Because that is why the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decreed. And the best thing for sure, there is a reward in the next world. Our whole focus is in the next world. So again, I will repeat, now we are going to do the fusion. Fusion is self-care, of course, it's Islamic, it's very good. You should be doing more physical care. Self-compassion is also very good. We should be taking care of ourselves. Be humble, be kind to yourself. Don't do so much so that you get tired. That's self-compassion. Personal boundaries are also there with your children, not your parents. Nowadays, people are putting in boundaries with their parents. Of course, they should be, but with your children also. Learn to say no. Structure and routine, hobbies, decrease media time. Use of humor is very good. Even our Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam would make jokes. And then lose unrealistic expectation and find meaning in this phase. The meaning would be that there is an akhirah, that everything in this will end. The hard time that you're having now, it's only for a short time. You will pass through that time. And how you will pass through is what Allah is saying. Allah wants to see how you pass through that time. Be grateful, and then all of the things you do. Don't run away. This is what is happening nowadays. People are running away. This doesn't solve anything. It's just like jumping from a frying pan into a fire. Use of the Quran and Sunnah here. The thing is, I like this so much. La yukallifullahu nafsan illa wus'aha. So when a hardship comes, whether it's parenting or anything, remember, it's for you. It is specially for you. Allah will not burden you for more than what you have. And then surely, with difficulty is ease. With difficulty is surely ease. And of course, this is a dua. We should make dua for our children all the time. Rabbi habli minas salihin. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين الصلاة والسلام عليك يا رسول الله. Any questions? Any questions? You sure? Come on, I want you to be active. Because all of you know these things. It's just putting them in a perspective.